got Christina Donatelli. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, up in Canada, and she's been gracious enough to join us today. And she's got an amazing story. I've heard a little bit about your story, Christina, from Temple and the things that you guys are doing up there. And I'd love for you to just share with people who's Christina, right? Who are you, and what brought you to Rain, and what are you doing right now, to help people, and how has this impacted your life, what we're doing?
Well, good morning, Casey. Actually, I don't live in Canada. I live in Connecticut.
Okay. All right.
But that's okay.
Right. Cool.
Good
deal.
That's the great thing about this business. I know the girls in Canada. We've met through the conferences, the Rain conferences. So it's great. But no, I live in Connecticut with my husband. I am going to be 57 this year. But in 2014, I was diagnosed with a very aggressive stage 2 breast cancer, and it was a shock. It was out of the blue because I had always felt that I was very healthy, never had any major health issues. But I underwent surgeries, 13 months of chemotherapy treatment, 6.5 weeks of radiation treatment. So the entire year of 2015, I was in and out of the hospital basically every week, because even though chemo was every 3 weeks, those other weeks I had to go in for tests and other procedures. I was very, very sick. Of course, I lost my hair, eyelashes, eyebrows. I had chemo brain, when you can't think, you can't concentrate. I had severe pain throughout my bodies, in my muscles, in my joints. I had neuropathy everywhere. Neuropathy is a lot of people deal with neuropathy for different health reasons, but it's severe pain in your limbs, tingling, numbness. It was really bad. My chemo brain was so bad that one day I thought I'd had a stroke, because I was reading a text message on my phone and all the words were jumbled and didn't make sense. And it was very scary. I couldn't work that year. My husband and I own a restaurant, and I was the pastry chef. I worked 7 days a week. So it was obviously a financial struggle for us as well, because we were dealing with health bills, medical bills, but also we had to hire people to do my job. They monitored me for my heart, because the chemo drugs I was on caused heart issues. So several times they thought I'd had a heart attack. Thankfully I didn't, but I was miserable. I gained, I think, about 40 pounds that year, because the chemo drugs made me gain weight. I had so many complications, Casey. I actually had to go in for an angioplasty, because when you have chemo drugs and that often, they put a port in your chest and they hook up the chemo lines to the port right near your heart. But the drugs were so strong, they caused scar tissue to form, and it closed up. So I had to go to the hospital and have an angioplasty done. That's a major procedure. So when everything was done, and I think I had so many side effects, I can't even think of them all now. It was so bad. Anyone who goes through cancer treatments knows it is terrible, terrible. I was eating healthy. I always ate fresh fruits and vegetables. I always took multivitamins. I actually juiced every day. So I was still doing that after I got done with cancer treatments, but I wasn't getting any better. I was actually getting sicker and sicker as the days went by. And God bless my friend Marie, she introduced me to Rain one day. I was so sick and so desperate, and I went to visit her, and she just handed me this packet, and she basically had just been introduced to it as well. So she didn't know really what it could do for me, but she knew about the black cumin seed, and she said, please just try this, try it, because, nothing was working for me. And I was so skeptical. I honestly didn't want to try it, because I was like, the doctors aren't telling me to do anything like that. What is this? I've never heard of it, never heard of Rain, never heard of seed nutrition, never heard of really the black cumin seed. But I tried it. She was my friend. I trusted her, and I was desperate. So I drank that one packet of Soul she gave to me. And she said to me, when you go home, just really pay attention to how you feel, even the slightest little difference. And I saw her the next day. I said, I feel no difference. It didn't help me at all. She gave me another packet. She said, drink it again. Did the same thing. The next day I saw her. I said, I feel no different. It's not going to help me. This isn't going to work. Well, thank God my friend did not give up on me. She handed me a whole handful of packets. This time she gave me 6, and she said, you need more in your body. One's not enough. I want you to take 3 today. Drink 1 now, 1 when you get home, 1 tonight, and tomorrow do the same thing. And after I did that, after I drank 3 packets of Sol for 2 days, I did feel different. I was still sick. I still felt horrible, but there was something different and it was noticeable. I could feel a little bit a difference. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you, I had 0 use of my hands when I was done with chemotherapy. I could not even hold a pen to sign my name. The pain was so severe. The neuropathy was so bad. Shooting pains would go up my arms if I just moved my thumb a little bit, and I would drop to the floor. Well, I felt a little bit of difference in that pain, and my head was a little bit clearer. So I went back to Marie and said, Marie, I need some more samples of that Sol. And she didn't have any more samples. She only had enough for herself, and she had sacrificed what she had to give to me. So she showed me how to order my own Sol, and still I was kind of, I don't know if I want to do it. You know, it's like one of those things. I hate ordering online. I'd rather just buy from someone, but I was still, you know, a little skeptical, but I said, no, I have to do this because I need to get better. I want to get better. I'm tired of living this way and feeling this way. So she showed me how to order my own boxes of Sol, but at the same time, a friend of ours who's in town is a nutritionist, and she had looked up the ingredients and the products, and she said, make sure Christina's ordering the core. She needs to detox all those chemo drugs out of her system. So the core is going to be really important to her. Tell her to double up on it, even triple up on it. And so I did. I think I was taking 2 packets each at the beginning because I really couldn't afford. I had, you know, was not working. We were paying somebody to do my job. I had medical bills upon medical bills, even with insurance. So I really could not afford to buy this stuff, but I was desperate. And so we did what we needed to do to afford to buy it. And that's what you have to do. You know, you have to put your health first. And I did. So I started with, I think, 2 packets a day. And then eventually I added a little bit more. But after 2 months, I was able to go for a walk for the first time because my muscles, I felt like I was an elephant all the time. I could barely move. I couldn't go up and down the stairs. My joints were so stiff that I fell down the stairs 3 times. So after 2 months of being on the product, was the first time I was actually able to go for a walk with my husband. And, you know, I was still in pain, but I was able to go for a walk, and it was wonderful. So I just kept taking the products, and I think those were the only 2 products at the time, I believe. But I started with Form, and it was March that I started. So in August, I started the Form, and I started drinking that every day as my breakfast. And I started to lose the weight, and I started to have more energy. And little by little, I was feeling better and better, and I was able to move my hands. I was able to do things. And a year, 12 months later, so by March of the following year, every single side effect that I was dealing with was gone. And not only was it gone, Casey, I felt better than I did before cancer, which was crazy because before cancer, I was stiff and sore. Like if I sat down at my computer chair for a while, and then I stood up, I had like, you know, the aches and creaks. I thought that was normal. I thought that was something that all 50-year-olds dealt with. You know, you don't. I mean, I'm never like that. It's been 4 years on this product and I'm never stiff or sore at all. So after a year on the products, everything was gone. And what's so amazing about that is that I still run into people who had gone through cancer treatments and they're still dealing with all those side effects. And their doctors, and like the doctors told me and the nurses told me, get used to those side effects. They may never go away. People who go through cancer treatments deal with the neuropathy, deal with the chemo brain. And I tell them, you don't. No, it does go away. But you have to do what you need to do. You know, it's not going to go away on its own. It's not going to go on its way by just eating healthy fruits and vegetables. It's not going to go away unless you do what I'm doing. And so it has absolutely changed my life. And by changing my life, I was able to, you know, help my husband and my parents and my siblings and my friends. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible what these products have done for me to rebound from cancer treatments and then to go on and help other people that I love.
Wow. Well, thank you, Christina. That's amazing. Well, thank goodness you stuck with it, right? I think that's something people, you know, that's a good point for everybody on this call to learn that, because Christina, as we've been around the world, we've seen a lot of that same type of thing. Sometimes people just need a little bit more, product in their body because of their situations that they're in. Everybody's a little different, right? Well, that's an amazing story. They told me that your story was impressive. And honestly, I'm so glad that this worked for you. And what you said is also super important for everybody. When people are, somebody that's around us is not feeling, healthy and, and living that life that they want to be living because of health related issues. It doesn't just affect, the person that's sick, right? It's almost a community type problem. And guys, we have a solution to a lot of these issues, but again, people hear from us, right? That's the only way that they're going to know about Rain, is if we get out there and tell people. So Christina, thank you so much for jumping on and sharing that story. I mean, that's super, super powerful. And I'm glad that you're back, you're back and things are good.
And I'll never go off these products. So I have to do whatever I can do to make sure Rain never goes away.
All right. Love it.
Nothing like it out there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing today.